The starting introductions. For those starting introductions, we go now to public address announcer Fred Rolando.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to East Regional High School, the home of the Vikings. Tonight's encounter pits the Rams of Overbrook against the Vikings of Eastern. Tonight's starters for the Rams, number 11, Sean Collins. Number 5, Jamar Smith. Number 25, Foster. Number 24, Hassan Green. And number 15, Teddy Woolridge. The Rams are coached by Coach Bart. One, two, game time! And now for the Vikings. Number 44, Adam Talafero. Number 32, Evan Cardamone. Number 42, Justin Martin. Number 22, Darryl Scott. And number 21, Dominic Mahia. Dave Allen. Would everybody please rise? We're playing for national anthem.
So there you have your starting lineups tonight for Overbrook, Smith, Woolridge, Collins, Green, and Foster. For Eastern, it'll be Barton, Mayhay, Cardamone, Talafero, and Scott. And Mark, we might mention that Eastern, in an effort to maybe get out of this three-game slide, has shaken up the starting lineup a little bit tonight.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Dominic Mejia, who has not played any varsity this year, but a very highly talented freshman, will go in as one of the guards. And Darryl Scott, we saw him on the football field, another one of those football players who has seen considerable minutes this year. He'll go in. And what it's done is it's made practices a little more intense, because now the guys that were in the starting lineup, Jack, well, want to win some minutes back. So if there was any complacency at Eastern, this really shaked things up. first-year coach Dave Allen, you know, not wanting to take any chances. They're playing each game as if it's a playoff game. They know they can't lose many more if they want to qualify in Group 4.
And Mark, speaking of lineups, Overbrook without the services tonight of another one of those great football players, Byron Scott.
Yeah, Byron Brown was...
I'm sorry, Byron Brown.
Byron Brown was ejected from a game 2 games ago, and under NJSIAA rules has to sit out too. And that's kind of a shame because it would have been a great athletic matchup between Byron Brown and Talafero.
Overbrook off the tip. The shot is no good. The follow no good. Ball tipped around and put back up and in by Smith. So already Smith a real presence as he outleaped a bigger bodied Barton, but on the other end of the court it's the big guy with 2.
Look at Justin Barton. That's a 290-pound guy running the court that way, Jack. That's what I told you about how agile he is. He's got tremendous feet, and I think he's going to be a big-time football recruit, as we've said over and over.
Barton a load on the football field, but a scary presence in the middle here on the basketball court.
And Overbrook man-to-man. I would look for Barton. I think Eastern goes too long a stretches. They tried that time and got the turnover. But I think they've gone too long a stretches of not trying to get it into the big guy. There he is. Jack, you'll also remember when Garden State did its preseason basketball show, Barton called in to find out how we like the Eastern big men.
Talafero off the steal. And a 4-2 lead for the Vikings. Talafero has quite a history as he hassles the Rams in the backfield. Has quite a history of performance on Garden State, at least on the football field. We'll see how he manages here tonight.
Wow, he's just a tremendous athlete. He can pick your pocket. Great catch that time by Justin Barton. So we've seen him, first of all, running the court. Now we see the tremendous hands that time in bringing that ball down and then getting the foul.
And the power move to the bucket had to put some fear in Ted Woolridge at just 6'1", but several, and I mean several pounds lighter than Barton. Woolridge called for the first foul of the night.
Barton's averaging 10 a game. I think he has the potential to be a 15-point per game scorer, if not better. By the way, Jack, Eastern is not shooting foul shots well this year, just 53.8% as a team, and that might explain that 5-6 record.
1 of 2 at the line for Barton at a 5-2 lead for the Vikings. This is Collins, hassled again to the backcourt by Talafero, but the Rams break the timeline.
Well, Talafero and Mejia give them very good quickness in the backcourt. They can do a lot with pressure.
Collins drives in. Barton challenged the shot.
What Barton did was he avoided banging him. You saw how he held up his body that time. Great body control. Mejia, one of 2 highly touted freshmen on this team.
And how about that? He hits his first shot, and it's a 3. Six-point lead, in trouble for Overbrook as the ball tipped away. Regained, however, by Foster. Shot denied by on Woolridge. Mejia ahead of the pack, missed the easy layup. Talafero's foul doesn't go, but a third opportunity down and good by Darryl Scott.
Overbrook needs a timeout right now.
(10-2) to start the ball game for the Vikings.
They're putting Jamar Smith on the high post. They really need to get him the ball lower. He's not known as a great outside shooter.
There is Smith, and he has all 4 points so far for the Rams, who cut the lead down to 6.
That little short 10 to 8 foot jumper is about where Smith can really operate. Eastern has picked up the pace with its defense, though. It's made Overbrook rush. Here's Evan Cardamone. He has not gotten off the schneid this year shooting, and if he does, as again Barton does a nice job of avoiding the charge there.
Fouls on number 11, Sean Collins. That's his first. 2 team fouls here on the Rams.
Okay, Evan Cardamone, as I said, I think he's one of the best deep-range shooters in South Jersey, but yet coming in tonight, shooting just 32.8% from the field. So if he can pick it up from the outside, that just opens things up for this Eastern team.
Here's another look at the drive by Barton.
But look at how he avoids charging people. He has great body control.
Three in a row now, and 5 points for Barton, a 12-4 lead for the Vikings.
The key is this Eastern trap. It's really caused Overbrook, not allowed Overbrook to really get into its offense, to rush everything. You can't pick up your dribble out there against these guys.
Collins did, but he was able to somehow force the ball over to Foster. Now weak side, they work it around, and Woolridge can't hang on to it. That's a turnover.
You know what's interesting? They're not trying to get it to Jamar Smith in the blocks. He's trying to work off the high post. I think he's showing a lot of respect for Justin Barton as a low post defender.
Talifero takes his time. His team up by 8 here in the early going. 4:25 to go in the first. Another three for the freshman. And a timeout called by Overbrook. 4:15 to play here in the first. 15-4 the score. And we may have more than just a timeout here. It looks like perhaps a